Hi guys, the Metal Maniac back again, and welcome to another music collection update. So let's just get right into it. So first up is the album Morbid Visions by Sepultura. I've wanted this for a while, but it seems to be fairly expensive. Even though this has been re-released countless times on CD, there's been very few vinyl re-releases of this album for some reason. And even the most recent re-release goes for around $100 or more. For some, I don't know, but yeah, I finally got a copy of this. Although I have suspicions that this may be a bootleg, because for all the official listings that I've gone through, I've never seen an official one have a red vinyl, nor have I seen an official one uh, have the lyric sheet completely in Korean. Yeah, the lyric sheet's in Korean for some reason. Even though I got this from, I got it from the States. I got it from here in the U.S. So I don't know why, I don't know why the lyrics would be in Korean. Actually, there you go. As you can see, they are in Korean for some reason. So again, this might be a bootleg. This might not, but I've never seen enough. At least on the listing, on the not listing, but like on like the lists of official vinyl releases of this album, I haven't seen any specifically mention this one. So it might be a bootleg. It might not. I'm not too sure. But at least I have the album. I might eventually get that. There's a I'll probably get the most recent re-release. I think it was like a remastered version or something that's on vinyl. I'll try to get that at some point, but this is fine for now. Honestly, I have listened to it and it sounds perfectly fine. Although this is not a remaster, even though it has the artwork from the, looks like it would be a remastered version, considering that any vinyl version that's the remastered version in terms of recent releases is this cover that's more reddish than has a more red color than the original orange cover, but it's the non remastered audio. I have heard both the audio of the remastered version and previous versions from before the remastered version, so who knows. But yeah, still great to have this album, and like I said, it sounds perfectly fine, even though it's not the remastered audio. But yeah, Morbid Visions by Sepultura. All right, next up is a single, and that is "No Presents for Christmas" by King Diamond. And yes, the same artwork is on the back too. There actually was only one other vinyl version of this, I think. Maybe there was another one, I can't remember. But I only know of two vinyl versions. This original 1985 release, and then a picture disc that came out, I think, a couple of years ago. Um, yeah, I didn't want to get the picture disc because, I don't know, it just, the artwork was just weird. It was like King Diamond, with like a taxidermy reindeer head, and like the logo was like in Christmas colors, but looked really like bad CGI, like a bad CGI render, and just looked weird. But yeah, I like this version a lot more. I know it just looks a lot better than the picture disc version that's come out in recent years. Um, but yeah, I love No Presents for Christmas. I'd say it's probably the single most underrated King Diamond song. But yeah, great song. Also, the side B to this one is the song Chiron that would later go on the Fatal Portrait album. Yeah. Next up is the a demo by the band Brain Amputated, called Brain Amputated but good. This is a very underrated and pretty obscure German thrash metal band. They formed, I think, in like the mid '80s, and then released this in '89. They released their first full length album in '91, although they went a little bit more melodic a little bit more melodic, less heavy on that one. And then they switched the name from Brain Amputated to Kick-Ass, and they released one more album in '97, and then they broke up after that. But yeah, out of all three releases, this is definitely my favorite. It's definitely the heaviest of them. It's definitely the more like a straightforward thrash metal. It's not as melodic as their first full length album, and definitely heavier than their first full length album. But yeah, really cool. Very obscure, but awesome. All right. Lastly is the demo "Trapped in Death" by the band Hellraiser. Another great thrash metal band. This one is from California. This is actually a single-sided cassette. All the songs are on one side. I don't know how common these were back in the day, but almost like it's very uncommon nowadays to have like a cassette that's single sided in terms of like just like demos and even just like cassette, demo cassettes and stuff like that. Just I've never. I don't think I've maybe one time. I think there's like one time I've seen a modern metal release in terms of demos have a one sided cassette. Excuse me. But mostly it's side A and side B. But anyway, yeah, really great really great just great thrash metal. They're not doing anything fancy on here. It's just sort of just really heavy, very brutal sounding thrash metal with great vocals and great riffs and stuff. Although I gotta replace this case at some point. It's completely like cracked. Like here, there's a huge crack here, and a huge crack here. Oh, and another crack here. But I don't know. I don't think this was like this because on the listing on eBay, the case wasn't cracked like this. So this had to happen during shipping at some point. Yeah, shipping can be really shit sometimes. People just don't give a shit about properly delivering packages. Unfortunately, that happens. But yeah, at least it's not the cassette. The cassette's totally fine. It's just the case. But I will replace the case at some point when I find a spare one. But anyway, also really love that logo right there. Alright, so that's it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you all next time.